Today I meet a friend of mine, Julian. He's an American Thai and we're gonna share some good experience with you about the living in Thailand, exactly retirement in Thailand. So stay tuned and enjoy this video. So this is a friend of mine, Julian.
Hey.
He lives in Thailand also and he's an American Thai. How long have you been here?
So I've been back and forth between America and Thailand for the last 2 years. I came out after graduation. I came out to Thailand for 6 months, but then I went back to America for about 6 months, and then I came back out here for 3 months and went back to America for a few months. But now I've been living in Thailand straight for about 6 months.
Okay,
yeah,
nice. Tell us, I want you to say about the pros and cons of living in Thailand. So let's start with the pros comparing to the US.
Okay. I would say one of the pros from America to the US is, this is just my personal opinion, but I do believe that Thailand is much cheaper than America. If you have $1,000 salary in America, you can barely survive in America, but $1,000 a month salary in Thailand, you can live pretty decently.
Yes.
Another pro I would say is that the Thai food is absolutely amazing. If you really enjoy eating Thai food, there's no better place to be than Thailand.
And of course, you have to be a fan of the spicy food.
Right, yeah. Three, I would say that there is some of the most beautiful locations in the world is in Thailand. If you go traveling a lot in Thailand, you can go to just some really amazing places. Four, I would have to say Thai girls.
I have to stop for a second. Which side of the Thailand you prefer more, north side or south side?
North side is very beautiful if you like mountains. So if you're into the kind of like the mountains lifestyle, the north is actually very pretty. Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai.
Yeah.
But I really like seeing like beaches and islands and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think most of the people they prefer the south because of the amazing and beautiful beaches in there.
Yeah.
So okay, let's jump on the four.
Number four, definitely Thai girls. I do like Thai girls. I like American girls too, but I do really like Thai girls. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Because your face is mostly similar to Asian, that's why you like the Thai girls, or no, because of the different reason?
Yeah, I mean, I like girls from everywhere in the world, but I would say that my preference is definitely Asian girls. Yeah. Yeah, I like that, and also I just feel like the personalities of the Thai girls, I tend to really enjoy the personalities.
So what is the most important things? What's the most different that you can say between the American girls and Thai girls?
I would say if you're looking at the physical, I would say that Thai girls are much more like petite. Yeah. I do like that, and also if you're talking about more personality stuff, I would say the Thai girls seem to be more passive. They seem to be more like they want the man to take charge in the relationship, while I feel like in America it was more like this.
Yes,
it was more
so
50-50. Yeah, more 50-50. But for me personally, as a guy, I really prefer to kind of take the role of leading, you know, and most of the girls out here expect you to do that. Yeah, which is fine with me because I like that anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the last pro that I would say, this actually might not be a pro for everyone, but this is actually a pro for me.
And share with the audience,
And that is that if you live in Bangkok, you don't need a car. I kind of like that. I think that's a pro, that you don't have to own a car in Bangkok. You can take the subway, you can take the BTS SkyTrain, you can also take the taxi. And if you were living in...
the BRT, you know the BRT?
No, what is the BRT?
BRT is a kind of a special route for a bus. They have some special buses which they can only go through those routes.
Oh, I'll have to look into that. I didn't even know about that. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of like that. If you were living in more of the rural area, you might need a car. But if you're in Bangkok, yeah, you don't even need a car, because I actually really don't enjoy driving. That's a personal thing of mine. But if you're like me and you don't really enjoy driving, Bangkok could be a good place for you because you never really need a car.
Let me ask you something. What do you think about the price of the tickets of the subway train in Bangkok comparing to the US? Is it expensive?
I can't answer that because I've never taken the subway in America, so I don't know. But I do know out here in Thailand, the prices for the subway and the BTS is pretty reasonable. I would say it's not. I wouldn't say it's cheap. I wouldn't say it's expensive. I would just say it's normal.
Because many people they say it's expensive, it's quite expensive. But okay, some people they say it's cheap.
It's expensive if you compare it to the bus.
Yeah.
So if you take the bus, that's going to be like the cheapest way that you could get around town. But if you consider like if you want to get somewhere quick and you want to get somewhere in AC and fast, I would say it's pretty much like average price.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's jump on the cons. What you can say about Thailand?
Okay, the cons I would say is, and this is not going to happen for everyone. Yes. I don't want everyone to think that this is going to happen to them. But one thing that I will say is a con is that you may experience foreigner pricing. So sometimes, yeah.
In some places.
Even me, as a half American, half Thai person, I still get.
And you can speak Thai.
And I can speak Thai. I still get. Sometimes people will try to
charge
me more. Yeah, and so that is something that you just have to kind of be aware of. And
but I think it's okay, guys, because it's not going to be too much difference, and it's just maybe $1 or even cents difference. But sometimes if they charge you like a double or triple price, then you have to be aware about that.
Right. Yeah, like so if make sure to always ask. If you go to a restaurant, make sure to ask to see the menu.
Exactly, and price.
And the price, yeah. Because if you don't ask to see the menu and you just say, oh, let me have the chicken fried rice, they might come back and say, oh, that's 300 baht.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, exactly.
You got to make sure that you know, because you kind of have to see it from the other point of view too. It's like, a lot of Thai people, they kind of just assume if you're a foreigner, you have a lot of money, right? Yeah. So you have to see it from like a survival point of view too. They're just trying to make a living too. Yeah. But if you actually ask to see the menu, there's going to be much less likely for you to get overcharged.
Yeah, that's totally true.
Yeah. Another con, I would say, this is mainly in Bangkok, not so much for the other provinces, but the traffic.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the traffic is just
as you
really
said. Then you prefer to use the train, SkyTrain, subway, or BTS.
Right. Yeah, but there's what 10 million people in Bangkok.
Yeah.
Almost 10 million people, and you can literally, if you go somewhere on a no traffic day, it could take you 20 minutes to get there. If you go there on a traffic day, the same distance could be 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Like literally, it's that big of a difference.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, today I got here really quick because there was like no traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you never know if there's traffic, you gotta be aware of that. Yeah. Another con, I would say.
Okay, when you're thinking. By the way, guys, today we are at the Central Pinklao, one of the very nice shopping mall, but it's not in the city center. It's close to it's mostly in the north side of the Bangkok. You can check the links in the description below, and because I had a nice video about this central as well. So let's jump on the cons 3.
The other con I would say is, and this might not be true for everyone, but it's true for me, is that I do miss my friends and family in America.
Oh,
so
yes.
that's pretty normal.
Normal, for everybody.
Yeah,
for expect. Yeah.
Right. So that's one thing that I do miss is I still have a lot of friends and family in America.
Yeah.
And not everybody can just fly out to Thailand and come visit you.
Exactly.
So you have to be aware of that. Is like a lot of your friends and family, you're probably not going to see them for it could be years before you see them again.
And you have to know that Thailand is really far, exactly to the USA. So if you decide to live here, you have to know that it's not easy to back all the time. Go and back. So, yeah.
I would say a fourth con for me,
and number 4,
but might not be true for everyone, is if you come out to Thailand, you're going to have a hard time talking to people if you don't know how to speak Thai. Communication is going to be difficult because most Thai people, they don't know how to speak English, or if they do know how to speak English, it's not going to be very good. They will be very limited.
Or I will add, they're mostly shy.
Or
they
they're
speak
shy.
English well, but they're really shy to speak.
That could be the case too, but I've only met a very small percentage of people who speak very fluent English. There is people who speak fluent English too, but it will be very small percentage of Thailand, from my personal experience.
Yes, that's right.
And let's say the fifth con that I would say is kind of what we were talking about earlier. Is I feel like one thing about Thailand, I feel like people are very addicted to their phones. And I kind of feel bad about that because I remember in America, I mean, people were addicted to their phones, but it's not quite the same as here. In Thailand, people are like really online. It's almost their entire life. Yeah, so that's something that's kind of too bad because I feel like the more you use your phone, the more depressed you are. I feel like it can cause some...
Of course, or you will lose the words. You are always in your phone, you cannot see what's happening, what's going on around yourself. So...
Yeah, and I think it's dangerous too because you'll see people texting on their phone and they're crossing streets while they're texting on their phone.
Even when sometimes they're driving, I just saw them, they are in the taxi or do something, and that's caused the traffic.
I mean, look, there's 5 people over there. They're all on their phones while they're walking. I mean, it's just really unfortunate that people are addicted to their phones. And I think we're both probably guilty of it too sometimes.
Yeah,
it's sometimes I'll look at my phone usage, and I'll be like, I was on my phone for 3 hours today, or something. It's like, wow, like the phone is very addicting, and you just have to be careful about that. But yeah, I would say that's probably a con. Is I feel like most people communicate with their phone, and if you do meet with your friends and stuff like that out here that are Thai, they might be on their phone the majority of their time.
So don't be surprised.
Right.
Don't be surprised about that. But of course, there are some people who, as a business, they always have to be in the phone. They also have to check the phone about a new message or text from someone because they do the business by the phone. However, yeah, that was very interesting.
Yeah, and I'll share a sixth con too. A bonus one is also something that people need to be aware of is Thai time and American time is not the same.
Yeah.
So
you almost have like 12 hours.
No. I was gonna say like people sometime out here in Thailand they come late to meetings.
Oh.
That's a good one, right? Yeah,
that's a really good one. I have to put this at the first. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing that's important is that as Americans, we're like, look today we said 2 o'clock.
We
right?
arrived before.
We both came 10 minutes early.
Yeah.
So Americans are very on time.
Strict on the time.
For the most part, yeah. Americans are very on time. But one thing that you need to realize in Thailand is this isn't true for everyone, but for the most part, Thai time is a lot slower, a lot more relaxed.
Yeah.
And I talked to my uncle about this too because he's Thai. He's Thai American too. Yeah. And he was telling me that sometimes if you make a meeting for 8, they might come at like 8:30, or 8:15 maybe, or even 9 o'clock sometimes.
Exactly.
So if you are going to make like an appointment with a Thai person or make a date or something like that, and you say you're a busy person and you don't have a lot of time, you got to make it clear that says, please be on time or please be a little early because I have other things to do.
Or you have to make your time free for 1 more hour, you know, and expect that this is going to be happening. So, if you guys have any other question, you can leave the comments below, and also don't forget to check his channel.
If you are a subscriber of Maddie's channel and you want to come check out my channel, we are going to have an interview that I'll be posting together, which has a lot of good information for anyone who's interested in visiting Thailand or for anyone who's interested in possibly moving out in Thailand. Yeah, so it's good for vacation or moving. Whatever information you're looking for, I think you'll find that interview very informational.
And very soon I'm going to make a video about the retirement in Thailand, and you can guys enjoy that video as well. So stay tuned and also keep watching again. Thank you, Julian.
Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Peace.